Welcome to Fear Babes Podcast, a podcast made for Fear Fam members by Fear Fam members.
We would like to remind you that Fear Babes Podcast is not affiliated with the Project Fear crew in any way.
Everything we discuss on this podcast is strictly our own opinions.
My name is Madeline.
My name is Burgandy.
My name is Jamie.
And we are the Fear Babes. 2, 1, go!
Wait, hold on. I'm buying a Fear Club shirt.
Are you really?
Yeah. Are you really,
Is that
Jay? You're
mint
doing
hoodie?
it too?
Yeah, that's such a pretty color.
I know. I'm getting it right now. Okay. Hold on. I gotta put my address in. Where do I live? I forgot already.
Who knows?
Who knows where I live? I don't know. I don't, so no one else does. So it's fine. Continue to shipping. Discount code. Don't got one of those. Sorry.
Text them in Fear Club. Hey, can I have a discount code, dog?
Does anybody know a discount code for this? Can Fear Babes get a discount code? I'm just kidding.
I am not. Can Fear Babes get a discount code?
We won't share, we promise. Pay now.
How are we supposed to support fully?
I can go pee!
Yeah, go pee. While we finish buying these. Oh, it's done. It's a done deal. It's on its way. Eventually. Confirmed. Fear gear. Oh,
You
look,
can add
Fear
that
Gear just
at
sent me an
any
email.
point.
I'm getting Fear Gear from the Fear Club, and it's exclusive. Only if you're in it. Sorry.
Wow!
Wow! That was amazing!
That hit my funny bone. I like that.
You liked what? My song? My beatboxing? The whole thing in general? Something
All of
different.
it. All of
All
it.
of the above.
So beautiful.
I'm gonna leave it in the podcast.
Okay, I'm back!
Yay! Back from the party!
Oh, Burgundy.
You
stop
missed
that
my
shit.
song. Oh, sorry.
What happened?
What?
Nothing.
Don't worry, I'm recording, so I can listen back later.
Ah, fuck, we didn't think about that, did we?
Nope.
Shit.
Shit.
Well, guess she's gonna unfriend us now.
Oh well.
Just unfollows on Twitter.
Mute blocks.
You missed my song. I did some beatboxing. I'm not good at it, but it's fine.
Sick.
Okay, where were we? Back to the actual podcast.
Let's do this.
Y'all.
Hello, babes. Welcome to our group chat. I mean, our podcast. How did everybody like the first episode?
It was so fucking awesome!
I know. Is it weird to say that I'm wet for Project Fear?
Oh my
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I just wanted to emphasize, like, how good it was, but, like, in a non-sexual way. Like, it turns me on, but not sexually.
I'm not sure that was the right phrasing.
Jimmy's like, what?
That is perfect phrasing. Thank
That
you.
was perfect phrasing. Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom, we're all a little bit wet for Project Fear.
I'm never letting my mom listen to this. Just because I told her not to. My friends were saying things that are weird. Listen.
It's not
We're all-
unnormal for us, though. We're
My
just
virgin
weird.
ears.
Okay, well, you do not have virgin ears.
Pluggy.
Oh!
We can do it. I didn't sign up for this.
It's too early in the morning for this. All right. First of all, should we, before we get into the episode itself, can we just talk about how fucking fantastic yesterday was?
Yeah, yesterday was
Like-
fucking awesome.
The premiere of Project Fear, the launch of the Fear Club. I was living on Cloud 9, and I'm not even the crew. Like, can you imagine being them and seeing all this love and support for them? I would just be blown away.
Especially with the whole, like, Fear Club crashing.
I know.
We did that.
We did that. The Fear
Yeah.
Fam did that. And I
That
think
was
it's
incredible.
Yeah.
It's so cute to me that they didn't expect that to happen, because it's kind of like, I mean, obviously it was going to happen.
Yeah, well,
I will say, yesterday, the premiere was awesome. Seeing all of the Fear Fam just kind of come together and tweet, and the launch of the Fear Club, that was fucking awesome. Like, it's so cool to be able to be in a club that's specifically for us, that there is content that is targeted for us. Like, you could spend like so much time in there watching all that content. It's so cool. I love it. I love that you can talk to other people too. You can talk to the crew if you really wanted to. And it's just
Nobody
really
wants
cool. Nobody wants to talk to him.
Nobody wants to. Who would want to do that?
Fear Club, what?
What's the Fear Club?
Who is Project Fear? I don't know. No, but everything with the launch yesterday was awesome. I can only imagine how they feel about it. If I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is so fucking cool.
I know.
I just imagine their thoughts.
Like I said, I was literally living on cloud 9, and I'm not even them. I'm just a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
It
great.
was all awesome.
I loved it.
It is all awesome.
But you know what else is awesome? How much support we got on our first episode launching this podcast.
That's insane. I'm like literally mind blown.
I am absolutely speechless and dumbfounded, and I may have cried a little bit last week. I'm so grateful, and I just want to say thank you for the support, for the listeners, and for dealing with our many, many accents to the point where you can't even tell where we're from.
I know everybody's like, all the different accents. I'm really confused. I'm like, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. You don't need to know about my different personalities. You just think it's me.
I mean, it is you. There's
He's
just
me.
multiple.
True.
But just so many me's all at
There's
once.
just, it's all us. It's all just us. This is just how we are.
This is us. We should make a show.
This is real. This is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Now, gonna let the light shine on me. Thank you.
I'll be here all week.
Guys, that reminds me, Huma Huma Nuku Nuku Apala'a from High School Musical 2, where she goes, ooh,
You know the Huma Huma Nuka Nuka Apala'a is the Hawaiian state fish.
That's a real word?
That is a real name of an actual fish.
I thought it was fucking gibberish.
Nope.
Gibberish.
Actually real.
What the actual... I'm learning new things. Like, first of all, I learned that Pig Latin is a thing this week. What the actual fuck are you even saying?
Pig Latin. In Pig Latin.
Jamie, do you understand Pig Latin?
No. I barely understand English.
Uye Antke Ixpe Igpe Anle.
Okay, first of all, my brain's gonna take at least 10 minutes to figure out what you just said.
You can't speak Pig Latin.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
That's exactly what she was saying.
I asked my mom, I said, just so, like, I feel like I can remember my childhood pretty well. I was like, did you know what Pig Latin was? Did you teach us Pig Latin? She was like, what's Pig Latin? So, anyway, aside from that, Jay, go first with your notes.
Well, I think that I probably shitted my pants a little. There's a lot of things that stood out that I don't want to... What?
Let's start with just one thing. The new intro. Y'all heard that new intro sound?
The new intro is fucking fire.
I
Love
like it
yeah.
better. Yeah, I like it better than the Destination Fair one. It's fucking better.
It's got some of that yeehaw twang that she loves, you know.
Yeah! Yeehaw! Yeehaw!
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Just like that.
Yep,
Yeah,
just
well.
like that.
Yeah, that was mocking Dakota from the Blue Balls video, but I say yeehaw!
Yay-ho! Yeah, so the new intro is like, Destination Fear who? This is Project Glow Up.
Glow Destination Fear? Never heard of them.
Who are they?
Project Fear, on the other hand.
I feel like the introduction definitely set the stage for how fucking awesome the rest of the episode was. I mean, like, it was just a brief thing, but it was just like, okay, whoa, we're in a new era for real now. Like, this is new. This is a whole new world that we're going into.
Exactly. And then the absolute chaos of just who they are in general.
The car being a fucking minivan. Like, I thought and it's funny. Like, don't get me wrong, I love minivans, but it's just that here we are, like it's four and Kana in the other minivan, but there's four of them in a minivan. They're going to hunt ghosts, or not hunt, but they're going to these scary locations, and they're being all badass. And then they pull
And they
up
roll
in a
up.
minivan.
And they roll up in their mobile.
Beep,
Like,
beep,
it's my
here we are.
mobile.
That cracked me up.
Do we look
I think it's
intimidating,
funny.
ghosts?
They just roll up to Sweet Springs like, this is the place that broke us.
They try to be badass, but it's just a fucking mini. Damn, that sucks.
It's cute.
You guys were really great.
So great. That episode was fire. Meep meep.
The minivan, though.
That's hilarious.
It'll go down in history.
So I think the fact that they called it Return to Terror, and then their first episode, they go back to the location that broke them, they keep saying. I think that's so perfect. And if this is the first episode, like, I don't think we have any idea what we're in for.
No, wholeheartedly agree with that, for sure. All right, babies. Into the next bit. Tell me what your favorite moments of the new episode were. Berg, you start.
Oh, okay. I love the part where Tanner was in the basement by himself and he was just singing to himself. Like, I think his words were, I don't like it down here. I want to go back upstairs, because that's definitely something I would do. I would just start singing to myself just to make the time go by faster, to not be scared. Jay, your favorite moment so far?
I would just like to add to that as part of the ADHD club, I'm part of two clubs now. Fear Club and the ADHD Club. I sing everything, so I just really related to Tanner on that one.
It was a great moment.
My favorite part was the end of our little minivan scene when everything panned back to Alex and Chelsea, and Alex is like, yeah, and then pretends to punch Chelsea in the face. I freaking lost it. That really got me.
The part where they were like, it's YouTube, we can do whatever we want. And he just pretends to punch Chelsea.
Yeah, it was amazing. Perfect comedy.
It's like, damn, Chelsea doesn't need to be sacrificed for fucking comedy. Rest in peace, Chelsea Layden.
They're like, we're going to Sweet Springs, we have to give a sacrifice. Sorry, Chelsea. Poof.
God.
Yeah, that was it.
Mads, your turn.
Hold on.
Okay,
hold on. Just
Oh, wait.
wait. Just for Chelsea, I have something special for her.
Why do I feel like you're like making her something, but nobody can see it?
That's what I was thinking.
It's like she's over here like coloring something. Like,
Yeah, you see her like vigorously coloring a sheet.
as compared to vigorously twerking from earlier.
No. Oh, never mind. The bit is dead.
No, start over. No pressure. No pressure. Hey guys, it's me, Berg. So Jamie played the Taps military like trumpet or bugle song right here, which was really funny to us, but obviously we don't want to run any legal issues with that. So that's why we're laughing. That's why it's funny. Just wanted you to know what's going on, but we're not going to actually play that audio because I don't want to get in trouble for that. All right, back to the podcast.
Oh my god.
All right, we're done. Bit died for real this time. All right.
Okay, Matt,
Okay, well,
what's your favorite moment so far?
well, you guys had some funny ones. Mine's a little bit more serious, so let's get into the serious. So my favorite part, which isn't my favorite in a good way, but it was a very memorable part of the episode that had me like, holy shit, what the fuck kind of ordeal. So when they are using the spirit box, and this is when the entire crew are together, Tanner included, and the spirit comes through on the spirit box, and you can hear a voice that sounds like Tanner. And then you can hear a scream that sounds like Chelsea. That part had me like, I was speechless. I'm still speechless thinking about it, but that was my quote-unquote favorite part of the episode because it was the most memorable to me. Since it was evidence-based, and we kind of want to talk about the evidence that they caught, I just want to know what your guys' favorite evidence was in this episode. Buggy first.
So that moment was actually my favorite evidence. I personally feel like whatever came through the spirit box, it did sound like Tanner and Chelsea, and it sounded like Tanner and Chelsea from the first time they were at Sweet Springs, from season 1, episode 3, Destination Fear. Like, Chelsea's scream that she did that night was the scream that came through the spirit box. I feel like that, and that was crazy to me. Jamie?
Terrifying. Mine was also part of the spirit box session, but when Dakota was saying that he wanted them to give them evidence that showed that they were intelligent and said that they were going to end it, and the spirit responded, "I don't give a fuck." That sent goosebumps just like up my entire body. I don't know what it was about it, but it just did something to me. It freaked me right out.
I was hoping someone would bring that up. It was like funny, but not at the same time. The spirit's just like, I don't give a fuck. You're like, oh.
Yeah, Dakota, nice try.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really weird though. I don't know. Just had a different vibe to it all of a sudden. Like, it was dark to begin with, but
like, why are we being so mean right now? Playground rules don't apply here.
Be nice. Proceed to not be nice.
Dakota's like, we're moving on. The spirit's like, I don't fucking care.
Wow.
Okay,
do it.
Bye,
It was
Dakota. God.
It's like that was a boogie spirit where she's like, fuck. Body, fuck you. Fuck them. Fuck everyone.
You mean shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Because apparently that's my catchphrase now.
But like,
yeah, but
okay, when you make jokes and they're bad, sometimes that's what you say, and you're giggling, and it's cute. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's adorable.
Matt, should I be offended that you think that mean that spirit?
No.
The same. Just like if I was a spirit and they're like, we're moving on, I'd just be like, I don't give a fuck.
Give a fuck? Yes,
just fucking do it.
That way. Yes, you would be that way.
Guys, she's not wrong, okay?
I mean, when you're dead, you just kind of don't give a fuck anymore at all anyway, so it's just...
They've spent a lot of time not giving a fuck, so what else is new?
Right.
It pushed the lady down the damn stairs. I mean...
They really don't give a fuck, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fucking fucked up. Like... Damn, I can't say that I would be that angry in the afterlife where I would just be shoving innocent people. Like, damn, who hurt you?
Is it anger though, or are they just trying to keep themselves entertained?
It could be either one.
Like they're bored. They're like, I got nothing else to do. I've played with everything I can, so I'm gonna push people downstairs now.
Yeah, let's seriously maim and or injure anybody here. So fun.
Just for fun.
Just for fun, please.
Oh man, people are gonna listen to this and be like, "No, you guys have it all wrong." We're just making jokes, guys. It's just jokes. That's all.
Yeah, and we don't actually think that that's funny. It's just like, you know, we have a dark sense of humor, and yeah, I don't know. We don't.
Yeah,
actually...
if you're gonna continue to listen to this podcast, buckle up because this is our humor, and this is how we just do.
Yeah. Please do not take us seriously because we don't take ourselves seriously.
Yeah, don't
serious in my life.
It's just jokes. Please. It's all jokes, man.
You can't say anything mean to us because we love you.
Well, Jamie said in the first episode, if you say anything mean to her, she'll cry.
I will.
And then I said that I would beat people up, so we don't want Jamie crying, and I don't want to beat people up, so.
It's really easy to make me cry. Please be nice.
Damn, that's sad.
So, to revert back to having a good time, not a sad time, is there any other honorable mentions from this episode we want to discuss? Mads, lay it on us. You got anything funny? Any other evidence you want to touch base on?
Okay, so this is just going to be random as shit, but one thing that really gave me cold chills too is when they were talking, they were using the spirit box again, and it said the word Christian,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then there was laughing that came through the spirit box, and I'm like, oh hell no. That was a lot. It gave me cold chills because it's like, oh my God, this is evil. And it doesn't necessarily, mean that it's a demonic entity. It just means that it's evil. And it's just one of those moments that just had me like floored and speechless again.
Well, even before it said Christian, it also said Jesus.
Yeah, it did. It did. I forgot about that. It did say that.
It's just the one thing that is supposed to keep you safe is the one thing that's targeting you. Like, it put a big old target on his back. It's crazy.
It was crazy. Jay, did you have any, honorable mentions evidence-wise that you want to touch base on?
Not necessarily evidence-wise, but I'm looking forward to Tanner flexing on everybody else suffering after this whole thing. Everybody dancing. I feel so bad for Tanner.
Yeah, his whole reaction to actually having to go into the basement was like, I don't want to sound mean, but it was like a perfect reaction.
I can't hear you. I can't
yeah,
hear you.
literally.
Anything you say that will scare me. I can't hear you.
They're like, it remembers you, Tanner. He's like, I'm not listening to you.
I felt so bad for him. That
I know.
was bad.
But on top of that too, when it sat there and they were using the recorder, Dakota, Alex, and Chelsea were upstairs while Tanner was still in the basement, and they were using that recorder, and it said, yes, I remember Tanner. Oh,
that was freaky.
Freaky.
I didn't
and
like
was like, hey, should we tell him?
They're like, maybe don't. But I'm glad they did eventually tell him. But what would you guys do? Would you, so if it was two of us upstairs and one person downstairs, if I was in the basement, would you tell me?
No, I wouldn't, because I know that you would shit yourself.
Not only that, I feel like it would elevate the fear, which would elevate the activity around you, and that would put you in more danger, if there was danger at all.
Right.
So I'd keep my mouth shut.
I was like, would I tell him or would I not tell him? Just kind of having that little argument back and forth,
Would you?
Yeah.
I would probably lean more towards no, based on what you guys said. You don't want to heighten their fear and have the activity around them heighten. But at the same time, Dakota did it because he felt like it was a warning. I mean, we weren't there with them, but if your intuition said to tell that person, I feel like maybe I would.
Right. And I think Dakota made a good decision to not tell him the full thing and just to tell him as a warning, hey, there's something that remembers you, just warning you.
Right.
I would have done that.
I think that it was worded well.
For sure, yeah. Also the Ovulus. Dude, I fucking love the Ovulus. Every time they bring it out, I'm like, they always get the best shit on that thing. When Tanner was in the basement, what did it say? It said video, short, and then his far away camera died. That was crazy.
Oh, yeah, that was insane.
I was like, what?
It was
that
cool.
was cool.
And Tanner's just like, what does that mean?
If you were Tanner in that situation, I think that I would be glad. So he sees, he's watching, here we are, weeks later, and he sees that evidence. I would be glad that I didn't know at the time that it died.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Mads? Okay, yeah. I was like, I don't think I would want to know when it was happening.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the ignorance is bliss kind of ordeal. I don't want anybody to tell me anything. If you, like we were talking about with Dakota, if you have an intuition, you feel like you need to say something to warn someone, fine. But I would rather go in it not knowing anything, And this time they were more vulnerable because they knew the history. This is their second time going to the location. Whatever was there ran them out the last time. So this was a vulnerable situation. Their fear was already heightened. Imagine, being Tanner and then telling him while he's down there, it said that they remember you. It literally said, yeah, I remember Tanner. Yeah, that's, good luck. That would, imagine the feelings you would have. You would just your fear is already heightened. It would just be something I would rather just not know, I would, if you decided to tell me something, I'd be like, please don't tell me. Unless you feel like I am potentially, something may hurt me or something like that, do not tell me. If I have to be here alone, don't tell me anything. Ignorance is bliss for me. Like, I would
For
just rather
sure.
not.
For sure, yeah.
I would
I
like to
oh, Jamie first.
things that I've wanted to say for a very long time. If any of the crew listens to this ever at any point, why do you stand in front of open spaces the way that you do with your back turned?
Facts.
So
Back against the wall, bros.
so Dawn, like one time, and I think it was in season 4, I recorded Dawn like asking that question, and a bunch of people came at me kind of, and they were like, "It's because it's pitch black in there, and they can't actually see it." I'm like, "Well, that's fair, actually." Like, remember when we were in the tunnels at Penhurst and how dark it was?
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Right.
I don't think I would notice if there was an open doorway behind me.
I would
I
feel
would.
it.
I would feel it as well.
Yeah, I don't. The idea of there being a dark room in front of me or behind me, no. I want my back to a wall. I don't like the idea of something being behind me in an open, dark space. That
True.
isn't
But
for
you know what
me.
freaks me out even more is if you're like, so if you're like backed against the wall and you're just moving along and then the wall just disappears because it's a doorway, that would freak me out too.
Oh,
Be like,
yeah.
nope. You know what else?
Oh,
Do you, when they had the recorder out and it was like, yes, I remember Tanner. Did you guys hear Alex? And he was like, Tanner's downstairs by himself. Go talk to him.
yes, I did hear that. And
Whatever
I'm
he said.
like, Alex, stop.
You're sicko, Alex.
Alex reminds me of myself. I just say the most out of pocket shit. I have dry, dark humor, and if you know me, you just get it. Like sometimes, I know Berg one time she was like, I thought that I interpreted that the wrong way, but I wasn't sure because it's you. Like, that's exactly how like Alex is. He's like, yeah, go down there and talk to Tanner, knowing good and well you don't want to do that, but at the same like have something go to that person, a person that you care about. But it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, probably shouldn't have said that. Sorry.
So sorry. My bad.
I just say the most out of pocket things sometimes, and I relate to Alex in that aspect because it's just so unhinged. Like, I'm just so mean, and I don't even realize that I'm being mean until I'm like, oh, I
Oops.
shouldn't have done that. Oopsies. My bad.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, boy.
Let's see. So they asked a couple questions in the episode, and then I wanted to ask you guys just like your thoughts on it. Like when they were in the car, Alex asked them if they believed in the witching hour at 3 a.m. Do you guys believe in the witching hour, Jamie?
Well, considering that after watching the episode, activity in my household picked up at 3 a.m., I would say I'm a firm believer.
Well, shit.
Yep. Thanks for asking.
Sorry. But
It's
also,
okay.
we will want to hear that here in a little bit in the podcast.
Yeah.
After Matt, do you believe in the witching hour?
I do. I do believe in the witching hour. I have had so many times. It's so strange, too, where I'm just like laying in bed and all of a sudden my eyes will just pop open and I look at the time and it's 3 a.m. on the dot. Have you guys ever had that happen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or you know what? It's creepier. I usually tend to wake up at 3:33 a.m.
I've had that happen, too.
Freaks me out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
All you have to say is, no, thank you.
So I don't have a lot of like personal haunting experiences. I'm not gonna have much to say, but I'm curious if Jamie and Madeline have any experiences that they can relate to this episode, part 1 of Project Fear Sweet Springs. Jamie, why don't you tell us first? Do you have any experiences that remind you of the evidence the crew caught at Sweet Springs?
Do I? Of course I do. So I have a couple that I could say. My entire life, anytime that I am on a different floor in my house than my father, there are times that I can hear him whistle, which is usually an indicator that he is calling us. When we are out in public, me and my 2 other sisters, and we hear someone whistle, we turn around and say, "Dad," because that's just what he does. But I've heard him whistle, I've heard him call my name, and then I'd come downstairs, I'd come upstairs and be like, "Hey, what's up? Why'd you call me?" And he's like, "I didn't." And I'd just be like, "All right, bye." And then there's been a couple experiences as well that I was asleep, I would hear my mother, which obviously wasn't my mother. But I would go in and wake her up and be like, "Is everything okay? Like, what's going on?" She's like, "What are you talking about?" Like, nothing is going on. I'm sleeping. So, just multiple experiences of actually hearing someone else's voice being mimicked and not having any idea what the hell to do about it.
That's scary.
Yeah. It's a great time.
And I don't think it is, but okay. Good on you for staying positive about it.
Thank you. It's one of those things that if you don't, then you're just like, "Oh shit, what do I do now?"
It's like that meme of that dog. He's drinking coffee and there's fire around him.
Fire.
And he's like, "This is fine."
That's so funny. All right, Mads. Tell us your experiences.
All right, so mine kind of actually ties into the Sweet Springs episode, but not necessarily this one. It correlates to season 1, episode 3, the very first time that they ever went to Sweet Springs. As I stated in the last episode, I have been in the Fear Fam since 2019, so I watched every episode premiere in quote-unquote real time, I guess. Like, when it premiered, that was its first premiere, blah, blah, blah. So when that happened back all those years ago, it was just a normal night for me. Like, obviously, it premiered, I think, at that time at 10 on a Saturday. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember. I think it was Saturdays. So I typically stayed up pretty late, and I just did my normal thing. There was nothing different that I did after watching the Sweet Springs episode. I went to bed, and I had the most terrifying nightmare that I was stuck at Sweet Springs. Not with the crew, not any of that stuff. I was stuck in the basement at Sweet Springs, and there were so many voices talking around me, and I couldn't get out. I couldn't find my way out. It was like every floor I went to was like locked and I couldn't get out, but there were things following me. I just couldn't see them. And it was just like they were telling me all these things and like, "We know who you are," and like all this other kind of crazy shit. Something I have never forgotten to this day. So that Sweet Springs nightmare that I had, yeah, that one was intense. That's, oh my God. Even now it gives me cold chills. Like them saying to Tanner, yes, I remember Tanner. But then I had that nightmare and it said, "We know who you are." And that fucking freaked me out. So when I heard that yesterday with the whole Tanner thing, it definitely gave me the spooks. So, and I've never been to West Virginia before. I've never been to Sweet Springs. So that dream was very intense and very scary. And it was all because I watched the episode. So that was my experience.
That's creepy, dude.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
I've had a series of these very scary nightmares of like spirits talking to me and I can't see them and they're saying these things and I can hear them like they're right there at me. And it's so terrifying. Like, I remember I woke up in the middle of the night that night, probably between the hours of like 3:30 and 4 a.m., if you want me to be honest. And I woke up and I was like sweating and I couldn't breathe and my heart was racing. And I think I tweeted about it, but I have no idea. I just know that was such a crippling experience of a nightmare. It's a nightmare that you just don't forget for the rest of your life.
For sure.
I don't envy you at all, man.
No.
That's rough.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, have you guys ever had a dream that's like so absolutely terrifying? And the worst part is that it's not one of those nightmares where it's like, oh, you're in a tornado or oh, there's a tsunami. It's a nightmare where it's like, ghosts or spirits or things that could actually happen in the real world, if that makes sense. Have you guys ever had anything like that?
Yeah, I've also had sleep paralysis, and I've had nightmares where then I woke up and I'm like paralyzed and can't move, and like I can see my room but I can't, like I'm trying to move my muscles or say something and I can't. And it used to be that there was like a solid year there where I would see like this like purpley haze over by the closet
Oh
in my
God.
bedroom, and it used to freak me the fuck out. I haven't seen it in a long time, knock on wood. My desk is fake wood. But
I got you.
thank you. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's creepy as shit. Jamie, have you anything like that?
So what Burgandy just said was basically she is the reason Taylor Swift wrote Lavender Haze. That's what I heard. You are everybody's inspiration, Burgie.
I need to collect my royalties on that, please. Thank you.
Yeah. I have had a lot of dreams that were very bizarre and very real and very terrifying. One specifically, I was in the church that I went to as a kid. My parents are still members of this church to this day. I went to CCD classes there. I think it was downstairs. They had like a school that coincidentally my sisters went to like primary school in there, and so did my mom. And they had like fine experiences. Everything was fine. But every time I went up there, it was just eerie, which is odd for a church, but it just made me so uncomfortable to be in there. And then fairly recently, I dreamt that it was me and my mom in there, and there was this big, gigantic something, like just a huge mass chasing us down the hallway of that school area of the church. And it still gives me chills because, like, I cannot walk into that church without seeing that in my head just playing. It was really freaking freaky.
That does sound really freaking freaky.
Yeah. Well, churches, man. Jeez.
Ew. Who would have ever thought?
For real. It's very contradictory to what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Gives me the heebies.
So, do we want to...
Wait, hold on. Real quick. I thought of something that I think we should talk about in the podcast real fast. I just want to note that Connor and Dakota did such a fucking good job. Like, production-wise, editing-wise. Like, I feel like people didn't really realize when it was Destination Fear how much they actually do their own work on the series. I just think that if anything, this proves like how much hard work those guys have put into this, and how like it's just so fucking cool that they can just do it themselves and produce the same level of content. You know, it's like crisp and it looks like it's something that should be on TV, but now they have all the freedom, and I feel like you can tell that they're happier and more relaxed. And I just wanted to note that in this podcast since it's the first episode of Project Fear.
Good point. I love that.
Yeah, you can definitely see that everything that was Destination Fear was their own hard work. That's important, I feel like, for all of the Fear fam to see, is that this was theirs from the beginning, and now they have the creative freedom without a big network sitting there telling them, okay, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do this. You got to take this out. They can do whatever they want to be able to have that creative freedom on their own baby. This is their baby. This is incredible. I mean, it's so awesome to see just how they don't look so tense because they don't have to be. They don't have to act like everything's so serious. And I love that.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
100%. Even I had Joe watching with me, and he's like, this camera work, like the little snippets as they're reading the packet of the hallways and like just how it was all put together. He said it's just so well done.
It really is.
It just proves it's all theirs. It was all theirs from the beginning, like I said.
Thank God it was all theirs, though, because, you know, we lost Destination Fear, and it was like, fine, fuck it, moving on. And best fucking thing that probably ever could have happened, to be honest.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, sorry, Mads. Anyways, so we wanted to...
Yeah, so we tweeted from our Fear Babes Twitter. If you're not following us on Twitter, you definitely should. we asked a question wondering how you guys, the Fear Fam, felt about the premiere of this very first episode and this new journey that the crew are on. So we have some of your comments that we would like to read and discuss. Who wants to go first?
Me.
Cool.
Because this ties in with what Burgandy literally just brought up.
Okay, no, hold on one second. Before we read these, so sorry if we butcher anybody's names.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Jay, go ahead.
Literally, I was just going to say that because Christina Stodge, I will say, at Christina with a K _STOJ, said, so professionally done, a complete adrenaline rush. So excited it's back on our screen. So, like, everybody noted how just unbelievably well done it was.
Bookie?
I agree. Love that. So this one is from Break B, and her @ is Jolene Break. She said, the spirit box was crazy. I can't wait for part 2. I don't want to wait a week. And I couldn't agree more. A week seems like too long, but the anticipation will build and it'll all be worth it.
Yeah, agreed. I'm excited that we at least only have a week until the next episode, you know? It's not like we don't
months. We have to wait months.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're getting all this content so soon. So I can wait a week, but I am impatient too.
It's a struggle, but we'll do it.
Yeah. So I got a tweet from, I think it's Mr. Poconos. Poconos. He said, I loved it, but my favorite part was when Dakota took a dig at Zach Bagans. Name dropping that shit. When he talked
Sorry, Kevin Spacey.
That was so funny.
Sorry, Kevin Spacey. Sorry, Tony Hawk. Anyway, so he said, I loved it, but my favorite part was when Dakota took a big dig at Zach when he talked about using the SB7 spirit box. Zach must have really screwed Dakota over for him to say that. I hope everyone caught on to that dig. And the only reason why I put that in here is because I do hope people noted that. Because, yeah, I'm not going to get into it. It's not my story to tell, but...
Real ones who were paying attention definitely caught on, though, for sure.
Definitely, 100%. Jay?
We got you, Dakota.
We got you back.
Team Dakota. All right, so I have another one from Jeff Gott at True_American88. I'm beginning to think something was trying to protect Tanner when it said run, not to get out or leave. The scream sounded like it was from the first visit, and I can't wait for the overnight footage. Very interesting take on the run, for sure.
Definitely.
That's what I was going to say, is I love that comment because it does make you think in a different way about the run. So I just thought that was a nice, interesting thought.
Yeah, it's a fresh take. Especially when Dakota was like, hey, maybe we should tell him just in case.
Right.
So that was a really interesting take. And then for you to say the same thing, that the scream sounded like it was from the first visit, like a lot of people, it seems like, put that together. I didn't even think of it. That's a really phenomenal point.
Yeah, I think that we should go back, obviously not on the podcast, but just go back, anybody listening, not even just the three of us, but I need to go back and watch that piece of the first time they were there and then watch it again, because I swear to you, it sounds just like Chelsea's scream from the first time they were at Sweet Springs.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Scary, but
okay.
Wow.
Literally. This next one is from Ivy Simmer at Kathy Janie Annie. Says, I think my soul left my body when I heard the knock and that scream. And then there's the shocked face cat emoji. I agree. The knock was pretty scary.
Broad daylight.
I feel like... What'd you say, Jay?
Broad daylight.
I know. I feel like it was kind of interesting to me that it happened when Cindy was telling her story about being pushed down the stairs and then it just like bangs on the door. I was like, maybe they don't like her talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
I don't want to project the ghosts' feelings for them, so...
Maybe they were saying, you said to be nice. Fat chance, lady.
Yeah, that was creepy. Literally in broad daylight. They weren't even in the building yet. That was the crazy part.
Honestly.
That was crazy, yeah.
Okay, so Hug Alyssa says, watching it right now, talking about the episode, and I'm already on the edge of my seat with anticipation. It's so good to see the Project Fear crew back together. And I agree with that. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time because I was so excited to see what they were going to bring to Project Fear that would make it different from Destination Fear. And it really just, it met all of my expectations and more. So, but it definitely had me on the edge of my seat with anticipation too, for sure, especially with the evidence they caught. It was awesome.
Just the fact that they don't have to, like, filter themselves anymore. Like, this isn't Project Pussies. Like, it's so funny. And it's
very
just
authentically them.
Yeah, it's great to actually be able to see more of that and not have it filtered out or have a watchful network eye overseeing everything.
Right.
What's a network?
Who's that? What are those?
Don't need them.
Don't need it. I don't need it. Like from SpongeBob with the water. Did you have more, Jay?
I have one more, yeah. And from Victoria D at fearfan_4. OMG, the whole thing was insane, but the Spirit Box session was a whole other level. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. Yeah.
I agree.
Said this before, and I'll say it again. I have watched these shows for so many years, like starting Ghost Hunters back in the beginning. Paranormal State. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Penn State, main campus, group of kids got together and started paranormal hunting, whatever. But that was a really long time ago, so it's been a lot of years, and I've never seen anything like that Spirit Box session. That was unbelievable.
That was fucking crazy. I hope that this whole podcast is you get your hearing of our thoughts that you wanted, Victoria.
I mean, we do talk a lot, so.
Next one I have, I don't know if I'm going to get this at right, but the name is Mike Bradley at Yorkswana, I think, hopefully. Said, loved it. I think they covered all the key areas. Naughty cliffhanger to go into episode 2. The launch time was perfect for the UK, 7 p.m. Well, first of all, I'm jealous that it releases at 7 p.m. for you, because it's 1 p.m. for me, and I am in the middle of my work day, so sad face. But I agree. I do think they also hit a lot of key areas, and the cliffhanger, nice suspense there for waiting for a whole week to see the rest of the episode.
To see them sleep alone.
Yeah. But you know what I also liked? So obviously my time, it premiered at 3 p.m. because I'm on the East Coast. I work half days on Friday, so I was home to watch the episode.
You don't have to brag, Madeline.
Well, I just liked that. I don't know if there was a certain thought process to this or if they looked at the times or anything like that, but I do feel as though the timing mostly worked. Maybe not for everyone, but
I'm on summer vacation. I'm having a great time.
Really? It's not much different than it releasing on Disc Plus because it would just drop at midnight. But the thing is, I could go on my lunch break. I could watch it so I can know when to record my mom.
True.
So I'm just flying blind now, but it's fine. It's okay. It works out, and it's there forever. You can watch it. Once it drops, you can watch it whenever. And I was going to listen to it at work, but I didn't want to get distracted.
Yeah, I probably should have stayed at work yesterday, but I just wasn't feeling too hot, so I just came home. I have an option to work over if I need to. I really should have stayed yesterday. But if I was at work, I probably wouldn't have watched the episode because what I do for work, it requires focus. So I definitely have to focus. But
I'm literally a reviewer of other people's work, so I can't not focus on that. So I was like, Plus,
exactly.
are you gonna pay to go to a movie if you know how it ends? Same thing.
True.
Yeah,
is what I told myself to make myself feel better. Anyways,
I agree with that. That was a good point.
Oh, I did have one and one more. But this one I feel like might be a little bit controversial.
Uh-oh.
So, this one is from Daz, I think, at is I_CERBZ_I, said the Project Fear crew did an amazing job. Sweet Springs was a great place to start. The show was great until they put content behind a paywall. Having to sub to the Fear Club to get the cam footage from the slave quarters is a bit shit, if I'm being honest. So,
Okay, hold
curious,
on.
based off that tweet, what your thoughts are.
My defense, this is gonna come out real hard right now. You don't have to subscribe to the Fear Club.
Right.
It's optional. You can if you'd like to. And I think if the fans truly want Project Fear to continue and grow, they have to be self-funded now. That they don't have an option. So if they're making extra content or they're releasing extra content and you have to pay a small price to get it, that's a good way for them to be able to support themselves and to grow Project Fear as a brand. And honestly, they could charge people so much more. Like Chelsea said in an Instagram comment somewhere that $10, so $9.99, was the cheapest that they were allowed to charge people. I don't think that they would charge us $10, not to put words in their mouth. But I don't think that they would charge us $10 if they didn't have to. I think they would keep it cheaper because they are so fan-oriented.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's if you're going to pay for extra content, then they're going to give you extra content. And I think that is what it is. So
my thoughts too are that that was the only clip that I saw, and it was only a couple seconds long, that was based on the Sweet Springs episode, if I'm not mistaken. Everything else seemed to just be behind the scenes, like content that had nothing to do with the location or anything like that. It's just strictly if you want to see more of them and their lives
in their natural habitats.
in their natural habitats, that's more of what I think that it's supposed to be and what it's going to be. I don't think they're going to be like, oh, we're only locking this footage for those who pay. That is not their intention, I don't think. And this is not me being critical to the person for saying that. I think that...
No, I would like to reiterate that your feelings are valid, and I get that it sucks for some people and not everyone can afford it, but I also get why the crew is doing it.
Right. But again, like I said, I don't think that it's one of those things where they're like, okay, well, we have 10 minutes of footage that is from this location that we couldn't fit into the video based off of what we're planning to do with this certain video. So you have to pay to get this 10 minutes. No, it wasn't like that at all. That clip was literally only a couple seconds long. It wasn't even that long. So I totally get it. Totally understand. Feelings are valid. I just wanted to point out that I don't think that that's what they're doing with their platform. I think that it's more behind the scenes based and more of who they are, their day-to-day life, that kind of thing, more than just, going to a location and keeping content from people who cannot or don't want to pay, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's like if they also have to, if they're going to have people pay for content, then they have to keep content for what people are paying for also.
Correct. Yeah.
Honestly, what I think is if the evidence that they caught from the slave quarters was big enough, it would have been in the episode.
Right.
So, if you can't afford to pay that, I'm sure you're not missing out on that much. It's probably a couple snippets of a camera sitting in a hallway for how many hours just hanging there.
Also,
it's not going to be something so huge that you're missing out on. It's just a little teeny tiny bit of extra that they can toss in for the people who can subscribe to it.
On that note, also, could you imagine just having to sit there and watch hours upon hours of just a camera sitting in one spot only to get 3 minutes out of it?
Right.
That kind of sucks a little bit, but we appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
We do appreciate it. And I always try to go on the record to tell them just how grateful I am for all that they do because, like what we were talking about earlier, Destination Fear and now Project Fear is their baby. Is and was their baby. It's just every bit of it is all them. It's all their mark. It's all their hard work. It's their equipment. It's just everything, you know? I forgot where I was going with that.
Well, I mean, to jump on, like, to piggyback on the points you're making, they've told us time and time again, it's all over social medias, it's all over the place. They want to make sure they are giving the fans what they want.
Right.
They're just doing everything, they're doing everything they can to make sure that as many of us are as happy as we can be with their content.
Right.
But also they have to fund what they are doing. They cannot keep going if they don't have the funds to do that.
Exactly. None of this is free. Like, they can't travel for free.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to figure out some ways to make some sort of money. They're just starting out, and I mean, hopefully the Fear Fam has shown them just how much they truly mean to all of us, given everything, the Kickstarter and the launch of Fear Club crashing and having over 100,000 subscribers before they even ever release an actual episode. They're still just starting out. Like, they still have to figure it all out, and like, shit's expensive nowadays. Like,
yeah,
and it's only getting worse. So, I mean, they can try to keep it as cheap as they want to, but there's always going to be unfactored prices that pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
They have to get from Sweet Springs to the next location, probably via plane. They have to rent a vehicle to get to the Airbnb that they rented. They have to eat. They have to provide for themselves. That's a lot.
Plus, I'm sure that the locations don't just let people go in for free either. I mean, some might, but I doubt that every single location is like, oh yeah, you can come in for free.
Yeah, doubt it.
Yeah, definitely not how the world works anymore.
No.
You want this for free? You want content for free? No.
Yeah.
It's
just one of those things, but I am definitely grateful for all that they do, and if I can, I want to support them in any way possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ditto.
That's just my thoughts. Again, not coming for that specific commenter. Feelings
No.
are. I'm just saying that's just my personal take on it, and so are the girls.
It makes sense. It makes sense why they would make a Fear Club. It just makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense, and it's really cool. If you can afford $10 a month, it's super awesome. I love it so far, and I can't wait to see all the other cool stuff that they're gonna include in it. So, but that's my thoughts.
Well, they also have, you can get a month for free if you refer 10 friends, and they all sign up. You get a month for free. So
that's true.
I mean, if you want to do that and get a free month so you guys can see behind the scenes stuff, definitely go for it.
Yeah.
I would also like to bring up too that they have merch that is so ridiculously reasonably priced.
I just bought some when we started this podcast.
Too. Like, I went to a concert 2 months ago. My God, the merch was absolutely insanely expensive. And for a shirt to be $29, freaking bought a hoodie for $49. Like, you don't get that. I feel like they're trying so hard to be accessible for us.
Yeah. They are. I feel like they're definitely trying to keep it as affordable as they reasonably can.
Yeah. I mean,
but
literally,
there are.
Like, when I went to a Big Time Rush concert, I bought a t-shirt for like $60. A t-shirt. Like,
yep.
Can we also just, shout out Star Cadet for a second and how awesome they are? I love those guys.
Oh yeah. You want to talk about people putting hard work into their creation? Yeah, they work hard. And they try to make sure that they get that all the Fear gear out in a timely manner, and it's freaking awesome what they do. Their quality is incredible. So, shout out to Star Cadet.
Love you, Star Cadet.
You're
give you a kiss. Cadet. Let me just give you a kiss. Mwah.
Ooh. Didn't know we were getting that down personal. Wow. Ooh, I gotta do it again, Mal, kiss.
Now we have to give the Project Fear crew a kiss.
Okay, ready? Who's
Ready?
first? Mads. Are we all at the
I
same
go
time or
first.
one?
Mwah. I couldn't resist.
Jamie, where's your kiss?
Oh
I
my
don't know.
lord. Oh my
I'm
God.
self-conscious about my kissy noises. I can't do it.
Do you want me to do one for you?
Well, Dan, it's not. Are you gonna make out for the fucking mic or what?
Yeah, you're not Dakota. You don't have to take it over the top.
He does.
We're not licking mirrors and shit.
Did you hear that? She just slammed Dakota. Got him.
Sorry, Dak. Except I'm not. What?
Sorry, not sorry.
I am so not sorry.
It's not like he's gonna listen anyways. It's fine.
You could be wrong about that.
Well, if you do hear this, then not sorry.
He's actually going to listen just to fast forward to
This
This
part.
47 minutes and 13 seconds just to hear you say that and be like, this is outrageous, and turn it off.
If this portion of it actually makes it to, what'd you say, 47 minutes, I'd be impressed that you called that out, and you should probably go buy a lottery ticket.
I want to tell our listeners about my lottery ticket experience.
Oh, okay.
I went on a hike and a bud shit on me, and I was like, ha, that's good luck. I'm gonna go buy a lottery ticket, and I fucking lost.
Well, that sucks.
Don't be shit.
So,
Dakota,
at
if you would
Dakota.
like to defend yourself, get over here now. If not, then you are a weenie. Goodbye.
What accent are you using?
That's a posh Londoner's accent.
People are going to be so confused.
And
Okay.
yeah,
Should we fucking end this? this
started-
chaos. Okay, the reason we pick on Dak is because he fucking killed Steven. That's all I can say about that.
I mean, he had a
killed
basic
Steven.
chance to do so, but
Listen,
okay?
we're not allowed to talk about this. This whole piece is getting snipped out, I hope you know, because we're not allowed to talk about Steven, because I said we can't talk about Steven. And so then
Steven!
we have
Well,
to keep our
then-
word. We can't fucking talk about him, so.
Well, then no more Steven. And let me just say, I have to end this. I'll end it.
Goodbye,
Okay.
weenies!
Let me stop.
Weenies.
Thank you guys for joining us for our second episode of Fear Babes podcast.
Please join us next week for the second part of Sweet Springs, where we watch the crew separate and sleep alone.
And listen next time to our podcast, where we tell you again how much we love you and thank you for your support.
Thank you. Bye, babes.
Bye, babes.
Bye, babies!
Boom. Nailed it again. Nailed it again.
You can't see it, but I'm twerking right now. Beatbox, go!